I've helped over 300 sports coaches grow and scale their coaching businesses online, with some of my best clients making over $50,000 to $100,000 per month. And in this video, I'm going to share the one hack that all of my best clients use in order to scale past $30,000 a month. If this is your first time here, my name is Nick. I run an online consulting company where I help sports coaches start and scale their coaching businesses online so that way they can reach more athletes, have a bigger impact, make more money, and ultimately create a life of way more freedom. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I got an absolute banger for you. Now, before I just give you the hack right here in the beginning, I'm smarter than that, right? I want to share with you where most people are, right? So most people are between 0 and 5K a month online, and they are stuck. Little sad face. They're stuck, okay? And so if you're stuck right here, you know, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month online, maybe you have some followers, maybe you're posting already on social media, you have an online coaching program built out, but you might have some limiting beliefs that are holding you back from really making the impact that you want. Where you want to be is you want to be 30K a month plus, let's say happy face, and thriving. Okay, what is the difference between a coach who is stuck and a coach who is thriving? Now, I just had a client join into my upper level coaching program where the average client in there is doing about $15,000 to $20,000 a month coaching athletes online. And he came to me right here. His best month online was about $5,000 in a single month. And he did it watching these YouTube videos. So if you're watching these YouTube videos right now for free, trying to get it off the ground, good for you. However, he was stuck. He was sitting here 0 to 5K a month. He's like, Nick, I'm not sure if I can really grow. I'm not sure if I can do 30K a month. And so he's on track to make $30,000 a month. As of the time of recording this video right now, it's March 8th, and he is over $10,000 for the month. So he's on pace to make over $30,000 in a single month. He went from stuck to thriving, okay? The one hack, the one thing that he did was he got way more specific about who we wanted to work with. Now, before you click out of this video, you're like, oh, wow, Nick, that's so simple. I'm gonna explain why that was actually able to get him from 0 to 5K a month to, you know, let's say on track to doing over $30,000 this month, okay? So one of the biggest mistakes that people make in their marketing is they're too broad. They're too broad. And the reason why that's a problem is because not everybody is your customer, right? Not everybody's your customer. If you watch any of my stuff, I talk a lot about charging high ticket for your online coaching programs. It limits how much you can charge by going broad, right? Because most people are not that serious about their career, or they don't have the financial means to pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for an online coaching program. I have a client right now who charges $5,000 for his online coaching program. You might be like, Nick, oh my gosh, who would pay for that? It's like, well, a lot of people would pay for that if we're going after the right people and we have the best offer for them. Now, see, the thing about it is when you're selling online coaching, you really, and this concept was actually introduced to me by a friend of mine. His name is Ange. Ange, if you're watching this, shout out Ange. He explained to me that in every market, it's like a pyramid, okay? And as you go up the pyramid, there is less and less and less people, okay? And the way he explained it to me was he was like, this market right here, 8 to 14 years old, this is the biggest market. Okay? And so my client, who's making 5K a month, wasn't necessarily targeting these types of people, but was attracting a lot of these people. Okay? Now, this is the second biggest. And this is, let's say, 15 to 22, right? And it's mostly high school and college And this is in the sense of like, you know, the big sports, right? Baseball, softball, football, basketball, soccer, right? Like the big sports in the United States, okay? 15 to 22, high school, maybe a little bit of college. This is the second biggest market. Now, what I've seen is that prices are going to be lowest in this market right here, okay? So, typically programs for this age range could be $500 to $1,500. Now, when you start to get into this market, you can start to charge $1,500 to, let's say, upwards of $4K. This is where it starts to get interesting, okay? Now, you might be thinking, I'm not even gonna put an age on this market, but this is the elite, and this is obviously the smallest market, okay? This is the smallest market, but I've heard from a source that at Driveline Baseball, you can look up this company, right? At Driveline Baseball, they will charge major leaguers $10,000 per month to train at their facility. $10,000 per month for one person, okay? And the reason why is because this is the elite market, okay? 10K plus. We can charge way more money going after the elite category, all right? However, if you think about it, let's say you're a Major League Baseball player. Are you going to follow the same type of information? Are you going to have the same problems? Are you going to have the same desires as an 8-year-old? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're going to be in a completely different stage of life. Not even necessarily just a stage in your career, but a completely different stage of life. And so we need to speak to those people, and we need to position ourselves completely different. So if you go and you look at Driveline Baseball's Instagram, they're super technical and mumbo jumbo and all this type of stuff. And I'm not throwing shade at Driveline at all. They do a great job, and they've helped a lot of people. The point that I'm trying to make is the way they're positioning themselves is they are trying to go after this part of the pyramid. Tread Athletics, a pitching company, does the exact same thing. They are trying to position themselves as the elite, which is why if you go to Tread, you go there in person, it's like maybe like a couple grand a week to go train there in person. You might be thinking, whoa, that is so ridiculous. How could anybody charge that much for training? If you're going after the people with money, where the difference between them getting a little bit better and staying the same is millions of dollars per year, it's justified, right? So with that concept in mind, what did my client do to go from 0 to 5K a month, super inconsistent, to now on pace to make over $30,000 in a single month? He focused on the upper echelon of the tier 2, okay? So he's going after a serious and committed, and I don't mean committed like to a college, although that's a pretty good demographic, serious and committed high school athlete. Now, why is this so important? Because now, he was attracting tons of people in the bottom of that pyramid, right? The 8 to 14-year-olds, because his content was super broad. And so as he got more and more and more specific with who he wanted to work with and was speaking directly to that person, he attracted more of these people. And what it allowed him to do is take his price point from, let's say, $1,200 to $2,500, and he's getting paid in fulls. If you ever see on my Instagram, we say PIF, that's what PIF means, paid in full, right? He took his price point from $1,200 to $2,500, and he's got room to go even more because he's closing at a really, really high rate. So the entire point of this video is that we need to get very, very, very specific about who we want to work with and understand the market that we're attacking. Are we going after the youth market and we're going to play a volume game? The benefit of going after the youth market and playing the volume game is you don't have to have as many touch points. You don't have to be as involved because they just need a little bit of structure. The parents are going to be involved, things like that. If we're going after this market, we can go to the top of that market and position ourselves at the upper echelon by targeting serious and committed athletes increasing our price point because price conveys value in a very real way, and increasing the delivery of the program to now justify a higher price point. You see, most people, the biggest mistake that they make is they start getting no's as they increase their price point, and they'll bring it back down. But what you need to do instead is you need to make your offer better, you need to make your marketing better, and go after a very specific person so that way you become the expert for that one specific problem. And stay tuned for the testimonial of this client, because they obviously went from 0 to 5K a month. Now they're on pace to make over $30,000 a month in season, right? Strictly just by doing this, strictly just by getting more specific. So if you're just starting out, you cannot be too specific. If you have followers right now and you're not making, like let's say you have 5,000 followers on Instagram and you're not making at least $5,000 to $10,000 a month from your Instagram following, I promise you, you are leaving thousands and thousands of dollars on the table. You could be helping so many more athletes. You could be living a way better life, have way more freedom. But if you don't know how to do that, go ahead, click the link in the description and apply and book a call to work with me directly. I can help you do it. Either way, hopefully you guys got a ton of value out of this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.